All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. Bunch of stories to go through this morning, or well, you guys will be seeing this morning, okay? Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you guys heard that there is some very secret, I don't know, concerning to me, meeting that's going on where Pete Hegseth has literally summoned all of the top generals and their staff, and none of them have any idea why. This is at 7:15 p.m. on Thursday. No one has any idea why this is happening, okay? And it's highly unusual. And the fact that the president and the vice president are going way out of their way to be like, oh yeah, hey guys, what are you guys talking about? Okay, we're gonna get into that story because I heard a rumor that it has to do with Russian incursions over our airspace. But I don't know, dude. That doesn't sound right to me. Do you know what I mean? Like that doesn't. Oh, so Russia, flew a little too close to Alaska. So you're like, we need every single military leader in the world, to come to one place. That sounds like a pretty good target to hit, huh? I'm sure there are reasons that we don't put all of those people in one place, you would think, unless it's like the biggest deal ever, right? So I want to talk to you guys about that, and I'll, float some hypotheses or whatever. We got James Comey who got indicted, so we're going to look at that and talk about how we feel about that indictment. And then I want to show you guys this, okay? So listen, if you've been watching my stuff for a long time, you know that nothing gets me more kind of like hair on end than the conversation around like nuclear weapons and especially nuclear terrorism, as it has seemed extremely, extremely inevitable to me but in fairness, it seemed that way for about 18 years, okay? About 18 years, that has been a very prominent topic on my mind since I read a couple books back then. Thus far, obviously, we've been able to avoid that, but this is what concerns me, okay? So anti-ICE gunman Joshua John's car had a bizarre map stuck to the outside showing radioactive fallout across the United States. Okay, good. So I am not for a second going to overhype this and act like this kid is likely to have been some genius, like some genius who was, mastermind. He's all, I'm just going to distract them with this thing I'm doing at the ICE facility. I looked in that guy's eyes. That dude's a moron. Okay. He is an absolute moron. However, I don't like the look of this. And so we're going to look at we'll look at the map itself, because some really dumb people can do some really big damage. Or at the very least, what I think that we've all learned from the Charlie Kirk situation is that the internet enables a lot of like Dunskies to potentially be involved in very serious societal shifting events, right? So is it possible there's something going on? I mean, I have no idea if these two stories are connected, but I see terror attack, radioactive fallout, emergency meeting in DC, all military leaders, and that sounds very scary to me. Hopefully they're not connected. But, I'll tell you guys also why this has always been. Oh, and by the way, we're going to look at a post from his mom, because that kid's mom wrote some pretty crazy things online as well. Here's the big one, though. Okay, this is the one that matters the most. Well, maybe not. But that would have mattered the most before we started talking about, radioactive fallout. Is the George Soros Foundation is going to be investigated by the DOJ. Okay, very important. Okay, this guy is a demon. Okay, this dude's a demon. This guy spends his money to try to destroy our society, and that is a fact. Okay, the Open Society Foundation. I guess not a fact, right? That is a fact according to Jesse on Fire, whose opinion is being stated. Just my opinion. That's what he spends his money on. But, I've heard some pretty shocking stuff about how they allocate their money in the Open Society Foundation. And they're saying that the Trump administration targeting them is politically motivated attacks on civil society. That's hilarious, because in case you guys are unaware, the reason why the left thinks that it's okay to murder us is because of marketing that he has been doing to them and brainwashing that this guy and his cohorts have been doing to them through the mainstream media for decades. That's what I heard, at least. Okay. It doesn't concern you, doesn't, like, if you're new to my channel, it doesn't concern you that there are, like, I don't know, whatever percent of them want us dead. Okay. I'm going to give you an example of that in 1 second before we get into the details of this. We're going to get into everything that we know about those stories, and I'm also going to show you what this girl said, who is one of the craziest people I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay. But first, I want to show you the sponsor of this video, PrizePicks. They're going to give you an opportunity to make a free $50. And also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it if you guys would do that. That's all I ask. If you're going to watch my content, just click subscribe one time. And if you guys are viewers of my channel consistent, please like this video. I appreciate you guys. Now check out PrizePicks. And by the way, that's me and Gabrielle's channel. You didn't know I had another channel, did you? Well, I do. So go check them out. Now watch PrizePicks real quick and we'll get into this stuff. It's NFL time, and that means it's time for you to join PrizePicks. I don't understand. What's daily fantasy? I'll explain that later. What you need to know right this second is that if you deposit $5 and put it in play, they will guarantee give you a free $50 regardless of whether or not you win with that $5 entry fee. Wait, I deposit $5 and I get $50 back regardless of whether I win. Yes, that's correct. So that'd be a 10x return guaranteed. Yeah, that's correct. So who wouldn't do that? I don't know, man. You tell me. Everybody is doing it. So tell us what else we get aside from $50 free. Well, you get to play the best daily fantasy game on the entire internet. Talk to me like a child and explain to me how to play. PrizePicks could not make this game more simple. You're going to pick which sport you want to play, and then you're going to start picking players that you're going to add to your roster. Then we're going to decide whether they're going to get more or less than the stat line provided by PrizePicks. We're going Shedeur Sanders, and we're going more because we are eternal optimists. Let's say you want to start small and you put $5 in play on your first roster. You can win up to $187.50. But if you're a big baller and you want to put, let's say, $50 in play, you can win up to $1,875. But let's say you are a big wallet gangster and you want to put $500 into a single roster. You can win up to $18,750 if all of your players deliver. Now, we also got some new features coming in with this new football season, and you're going to be able to play the same player up to 3 times with 3 different stat lines if you want. It's already live on Major League Baseball and WNBA. When you go to PrizePicks, you use the link in the description and you sign up and you use promo code JesseOnFire, you are going to get a free $50 once you put $5 in play. Use the link in the description, sign up using promo code JesseOnFire, put in $5 in play, and get your free $50 back. That's a 10x return. You are welcome. I love all of you guys. Let's go. Okay, now we're starting real quick with kind of a story. This is actually not like, I mean, this is the kind of thing that we laugh at a little bit, but like, it's also really not that funny when you think about it. Okay, so watch this real quick.
Found out today that somebody that I work with is a conservative, and he's somebody who's really intelligent, and he's somebody who works in climate tech as a super smart guy, somebody I would never have thought was conservative, and apparently he is. And it's surprising and it's disgusting, but what's most surprising to me is the level of sudden hatred that I have for him. Sudden hatred for this man who I used to respect suddenly just went boop, and I hate him now.
Like, I know that my initial, like, before the Charlie thing, honestly, this is the exact kind of video that I would have made light of and been like, do you understand how insane you are, sweetheart? Like, do you understand how crazy you are? And I will say that to her as well. If anybody by chance knows who this crazy bitch is, could you do me a favor and send this video to her along with a quote from me that says, "This dude says you are fucking crazy and you have no excuse. Grow up, you brainwashed imbecile." But the thing is, like, now it's getting dangerous. Okay, like the thought of me knowing someone personally that I work with, and then I find out that they're a Democrat, and suddenly my feelings towards them change is unfathomable. Like, not possible. Okay. Now the reason for that is because I'm not a fucking idiot like her. Okay. Like, I'm not an idiot, and I don't get brainwashed by the media like that, okay? But the other reason is because George Soros has been spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, or billions probably, to do exactly what he's doing here, which is brainwash people against anything that he doesn't like, and then also pit the two sides against each other. And, listen, like, this is the result. Now, this chick, most likely not a danger, immediately. But why don't you take away her college education, take away her job, and give her a gun and make her a dude? See, how about that? Now she start to look a little bit more dangerous. Okay. It's like not a game. And that is why George Soros now getting investigated by JD Vance, or, well, I guess technically the DOJ is opening investigations into their stuff. It's important. It's a big deal, dude. Like, it's a really, really big deal. Okay. And now let's move on to this other stuff. Yeah, so here we go. So the Open Society Foundation, the major, by the way, it's going to be hilarious to listen to how they cover this, right? It's like, oh yeah, because, hey, run cover for this demon who got his start by collaborating with the Nazis against his own people, which are Jews, okay? That's a true story. You should look up George Soros speaks about whether or not he has an ethical issue with what he did during the war when he went and was taking the property from all the Jewish people while he had a Nazi who took him under his wing. He laughs at them, okay? He's a demon, dude. So the Open Society Foundation called the Trump administration politically motivated attacks on civil society after a report that the DOJ has instructed federal prosecutors to come up with plans to investigate the charity. The New York Times reported on Thursday that a lawyer in the office of Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, sent a memo to several federal prosecutors in attorneys' offices in California, New York, D.C., offering a wide range of charges to consider against the group. Those charges include racketeering, arson, wire fraud, and material support for terrorism. Okay? They're coming for these guys, and they want to put them down. Okay? Like, they're not investigating, just to be clear, they're not investigating Soros looking to, like, get him on some technicality on the charity. Okay, let me read those to you again. They are looking to get them on racketeering, arson, wire fraud, material support for terrorism. There you go. Okay? Those are things that you go to prison for, and that's exactly what we should be hoping for, okay? This is they can call this political targeting all that they want. You know, oh, it's Trump going after his enemies, okay? I already know they're going to do that, you know, especially with what we're going to read about Comey. Oh, he's going after his political enemies. George Soros, really? You think that he's your ally, whoever you idiot are in the mainstream media? He's not your ally, okay? He wants to destroy the country that you live in. He wants to destroy the economy. He wants to take food out of your mouth so that he can remake the world however he sees fit. I don't know why he's still doing it. He's 96 and can't connect thoughts, and basically it would be like talking to a fucking ping pong ball right now. And, but nonetheless, you know, that's what he is. If there has been any person who should be targeted by the DOJ, if we want to make genuine change in this country, that's target number one right there. You can hit Bill Gates right afterwards too. Okay? The push comes as Trump has ramped up efforts to deploy the Justice Department to target his enemies. He has pledged to crack down on left-wing groups in the wake of Charlie Kirk's killing and has repeatedly singled out Soros, a major funder of liberal groups, as a target. We're going to look into Soros because I think it's a RICO case against him and other people. It is, okay? George Soros funded an article that justified the murder of Charlie Kirk, okay? This is what they do, okay? Like, this is what these people do. And I'm going to be straight with you guys. If people want to rise up about this, like you want to rise up because the DOJ is, this is the kind of thing where, like, you know what I mean? Like, I do not want any civil conflict at all. But if they start acting, they start rising up and acting like what Trump is doing right here in this crackdown is some kind of like fascist take, because I can understand how it would look to them having been brainwashed by them. Okay. Then they're going to have to bang with us, dude. Okay. Because no, this guy is an enemy of the state as clear as there ever has been one, in my opinion. Okay. Now, in other news, what do we know about, I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep you real posted on that Soros thing. Because they're not stupid. They got 3 years to get this done. They got 3 years to put him in prison. And, you know, looks like people that wealthy, there are always ways that they can do whatever, right? The powers that be, you know, probably the powers that, I mean, you know, maybe Charlie Kirk is just you know, maybe he's just a lone shooter, maybe. But the powers that be that have the real power, they have a lot of ways to set things right, and they'll burn the world down before they allow anyone else to win. But what are we going to do? Not fight? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, like at the government level, not violence. Okay, so Hegseth has ordered hundreds of U.S. military generals and admirals to gather on short notice and without a stated reason. The Marine Corps sowing confusion and alarm after Trump administration's firing of numerous senior leaders this year. That has nothing to do with anything. Okay, cool. The highly unusual directive was sent to virtually all of the military's top commanders worldwide, according to more than a dozen people familiar with the matter. It was issued earlier this week against the backdrop of potential government shutdown, and Hegseth's overtly political moves have deepened a sense of distress among his opponents who fear that he is erasing the Defense Department's status as a nonpartisan institution. I mean, depends on what you mean by a nonpartisan. It's like what we're doing. Listen, I'll be straight with you. You want to know how, like, at least at this moment, how I view what we're doing is we had enemies. We have foxes in the hen house. Okay. We got to root them out. because they might be in the house looking like, hey man, listen, this is supposed to be nonpartisan with a thing of gasoline behind them and a match, and they're just waiting for you to just lull you to sleep so they can burn the entire place down. I mean, listen, dude, like, do you think that all of that, like, critical race theory stuff that was in the military, you think that was nonpartisan? You think that wasn't being funded by these creeps who are trying to destroy the country? Why on earth would you have all that shit in the military? Okay. It's all the same people. That's why we have to root them out. So that, I mean, honestly, there are about 800 generals and admirals spread across the United States, dozens of other countries. Hegseth order, people are familiar with, says applies to all senior officers with the rank of brigadier general or above. That is crazy, dude. And we're going to put them all in the same place, man. Top commanders in conflict zones such as senior military leaders stationed throughout Europe and Middle East, Asia are among those expected to attend Hegseth meeting. Said people familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity as they were not authorized to publicly discuss the issue. The order does not apply to top military officers who hold staff positions. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the Democrats are going to be freaking out on this, dude. And I'm not going to lie, I don't hate that, dude. I really don't. I mean, like I said, we're all on the same team, dude. But I've had enough of listening to them tell us that we're the fucking worst people on earth and we are the fascists or whatever. And it's like, hey, why don't you think that? Just think that for a little while longer, just so that I can watch you squirm because I think it's funny, Anyway, so Comey got indicted, and we still have to talk about the radioactive thing. But he's indicted on 2 charges by the grand jury. It's 1 count of making false statements, 1 count of obstruction of justice. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system. I am innocent, so let's have a trial and keep the faith, Mr. Comey said in a video message posted on Instagram. Hey, dude, you want to know what happens when you go to war and lose? This. You know what I mean? I didn't go to war with Trump. You did. Okay? Do you think that Trump's going to war with every Democrat? No, he's not. Okay? He's not. You put on Twitter 86-47. He's president of the United States, dude. You think that was a good call? He already deeply dislikes you, doesn't trust you, and thinks you're a criminal. You put 86-47 on Instagram. Oh man, I had no idea the implication that could mean like, let's kill him. Are you crazy? It's like, see, what he's doing now is he's letting you know that the tables have turned. Okay? Tables have turned. You want to know how James Comey could have avoided being indicted is when Trump won the election, he could have just shut the fuck up. And he could have said, listen, like, I think he won a hard-fought election, and now I wish him the best. You guys went the exact opposite direction, tried to undermine him every single time, talked all that shit, and have done anything that you can to put a target on your head when you already did a bunch of illegal things. Like, are we really going to pretend that James Comey has not broke the law at some point throughout this thing? Give me a fucking break. Okay? I don't know what. I have no idea. What I know is that people in those positions don't think the law applies to them, right? Anyway, so one of the worst human beings in this country has been exposed to be James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI. That has to be Trump, right? Yeah, I was going to say, no one else talks like that, dude. He's been so bad for our country for so long, and now at the beginning of is being held responsible for the crimes against our nation. All right, so that's what that is. Now let's look at this really scary story, okay? So again, this could just be, some numbskull, right? Could totally just be a numbskull that had some weird map on his car. But check this out. Investigators in Dallas have discovered what they believe to be an anti-ICE shooter Joshua John's vehicle, which had a map depicting radioactive fallout in the U.S. affixed to the right rear quarter panel of his car. Text above the tattered printout map stuck to the gunman's blue Toyota Corolla read, radioactive fallout from nuclear detonations have passed over these areas more than 2 times since 1951. Why the fuck is that on that guy's car, man? Why is that on his car? I can't explain to you how much I don't like that. Like I can't possibly communicate to you how much I don't like this, dude. Okay, there's, like I said, really dumb people can do a really big damage. Okay, you attack some power plants. Do you have any idea how many of these kind of I don't know, points where something small can do tremendous damage, like nuclear power plants or like these dams or whatever. You have these idiots that are fighting for nothing. They're like, I'm going to be the good guy by blowing up this dam. And you're all, what's going to happen when you blow up the dam? It's like, well, we're fighting the government. You're all, yeah, but what's going to happen? I mean, they're not going to have their dam. You're all, right. And when this goes like that, you are going to literally have, 100,000 people displaced and with tens of thousands of deaths. Well, that's what needs to happen. I'm the good guy. You're the good guy. Yes, look what the United States is doing. You think it's that simple, huh? The United States is doing this, so I'm going to blow up this dam, and I'm the good guy. That's how fucking stupid these people are, man. So let me show you what his mom said, and then I want to come back and explain to you why this makes me so nervous besides that. Okay, so this is something his mom said in 2022. Governor, and listen, and again, the kid grows up to be a left-wing radical, okay? He grows up to be a left-wing radical who shoots people and then shoots himself. And his mom in 2022, okay, 2022, imagine what she sounded like for the last year. Governor Abbott, Senator Corinne, and Senator Cruz, how does it make you feel that your action to open up gun law is responsible for the killing of 21 more people? Do you secretly sit in front of a TV and smile a demented smile? You must be proud of all the money that sits in your bank accounts from gun lobby support. Was it worth it, Governor Abbott? How about your senators? When you prioritize money over people, this is what you get. You really believe that that's what's going on with guns? Okay. Do you want to know why we lobby to be able to keep guns? Is because in case you fucks go psycho, I have the ability to protect myself from you. Okay. Or the government if the government goes crazy. You want to take away my ability to protect my own family? You really think that you're like, oh yeah, hey, okay guys, if you would have done blah blah blah, then these kids wouldn't have died. Or these 21 people wouldn't have died. Walk me through your logic, okay? Was it worth it? How about your senator? Okay, here's my hope. May you be reminded of the deaths every time you spend that precious blood money you receive from the gun lobby. Hope you think of it 100% when you attend the NRA meeting in a few days. Senator Cornyn, I realize you suddenly had something in D.C. come up where you won't be attending. It's unfortunate you don't have the spine to stand up to the NRA and tell them the real reason you aren't attending. You are a coward, a spineless coward. We have our government officials failed us. Their lust for money and power. It is time we vote out spineless tools and bring in people who actually care about others. Okay. Is it hard for me to convince you of exactly what's going on in her brain right now? Okay. So you have a son who just committed a violent radical act, which ended up killing multiple people. And then he killed himself. And you want to know what is going on in her mind right now? She's blaming the guns and she's blaming politicians. Okay. Instead of herself, when this is what he grew up in. Okay. Listen to your tone. Listen to how you sound. Listen to how you must sound around him, okay? I don't mean to be a dick to someone who lost their kid, but this is your fault, okay? I can tell you that as a parent after reading this, okay? I'm serious. Like, I'm sorry, but the gloves are off with me with left-wing radicals, dude, okay? Left-wing violent radicals. I'm sorry. You guys need to hear this. This is your fucking fault. The guns, it's the guns' fault. It's the senator's fault. You literally... A gun is a tool. There's guns everywhere. Do all the people who carry guns go shoot up ICE places? No, your kid did that, okay? Only your kid did that. And you're going to blame the guns or strangers who sit in the state Senate? Okay? Take some responsibility, okay? You raised a dumbbell left-wing radical, okay? It is what it is, dude. I'm sorry for your loss. I really am. But hear me saying this, and I'm talking to all of the people who are raising people who end up like this, okay? This is not my fault. This is not the gun lobby's fault. This is your fault. You are the parents. Do you get it? Well, if they didn't have access to the guns, then they would have created a Molotov cocktail. Listen to yourself here. You're spewing this out publicly multiple years ago. This is before Trump was even back in office. I can't even imagine the shit you must have been filling his fucking head with, dude. Anyway, that's what I got. Love you guys. Bye-bye.